Somebody's just banging on my door, man. Golly. Can I help you?
Hey, how you doing? I'm with the government. We just passed a law that was going to raise taxes, so just came by to collect your portion, and then once I get that, I'll be out your hair.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
What? What do you mean no?
I mean, I'm good. I don't want to pay any more taxes.
Well, you can't just do that
Well, why can't
because that's not how it works. What do you mean? When the taxes raise, you have to pay the taxes.
I didn't agree to that.
Look, sir, I'm not here to argue with you or go back and forth with you. I just came to collect your portion of taxes. Okay, so just pay your fair share, and I'll be on my way.
Well, what's the money going to even be used for?
Well, that's none of your business.
Well, if you're asking for my money, then I think it's very much my business what it's going to be used for.
Look, sir, I've been very patient with you, all right? I'm going to ask one more time. You need to pay your taxes, or else we're... You know, I don't think that law actually passed yet, so I'm going to be on my way. You have a great day. If you talk to an average person on the street and you ask them what does the Second Amendment of our Constitution mean, they're going to tell you more than likely that it's the right to bear arms. And to no fault of their own, probably, because that's more than likely what they've been taught in school growing up. But in reality, that's greatly underselling what the Second Amendment actually means. So today I'm going to be breaking down what the Second Amendment actually means and why we don't really understand the full gravity of it. Real quick before we get into it, if you guys are a fan of the channel and you like the content I put out, consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel, as it really helps me out and helps the channel grow. But without going too much into that, let's jump right in. So what does the Second Amendment mean? Well, if we want to know what it means, we first have to know what it says. So the Second Amendment says as follows: a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of the free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now there's some interesting language there, so let's see if we can break it down a little bit and uncover what it's actually saying. So first it says a well-regulated militia. What is a militia? A militia specifically speaks to a group of ordinary citizens, not government officials, not police force, not military, ordinary citizens who gather together and fight for a particular cause. The fact that it says militia here is not an accident, and we'll talk more about this in just a second. Well-regulated speaks to the fact that they should be well-trained and often meet and gather and prepare in case any type of situation were to show itself where the militia would need to act. Next it says being necessary to the security of the free state. Now, what is a free state? That's an interesting term. Well, to put it basically, a free state is just simply any nation that is considered free and sovereign, right? One who ensures that the proper checks and balances are followed, or that all proper legislative procedures are followed to a T, so that, you don't have a country that's just, I don't know, just starting wars randomly on a whim.
Guys, I think I found oil.
So a well-regulated militia is necessary to ensure the security of our status as a free state. This is specifically speaking to the citizens and the everyday people of this country, that it is our responsibility to ensure that we maintain our status as a free state or free nation. But why would the Constitution call to the citizens to make sure that we maintain our freedom? Isn't that the job of the government? Isn't that the job of our president and of all the people who we entrust to take care of us? Well, if you believe that, then you don't really understand how we got here. America was birthed off of rebellion, off of overthrowing tyranny. Back in the 1700s, the English said we're gonna raise taxes a little bit, and we said, over my dead body, and meant it. Now I'm exaggerating, of course, but the point there is that the average citizens of that time organized together, and they made a conscious decision that in order to maintain our freedom or our independence from this nation, it is our responsibility to take things into our own hands, because nobody else is going to do it for us. And when forming the United States of America, they made sure to make it a point that this principle is not forgotten, because at the end of the day, people in power are not going to care about the powerless. And that thought is solidified by the last statement in the Second Amendment, which is the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That is only saying that under no circumstances can the people's right to keep any type of arms or weaponry or anything that they can use to defend themselves or our status as a free nation cannot be infringed or taken away or limited or stripped in any way, shape, form, or fashion. Now, this is also where people will give a lot of pushback and thinking like, oh, well, when they say arms, they were only talking about what they had at the time, right? The muskets and the stuff that they were using, right? Not like AR-15s and things like that. The purpose of the Second Amendment is for us as a people to defend ourselves against all threats, whether that be foreign or domestic. And in order to do that, we have to be equally armed as the very nation who serves us. So whatever weaponry the military has access to, whatever weaponry other foreign invaders have access to, we as a people need to have access to that as well in order to properly defend ourselves. I already know some of you are going to have problems with that, but that's just the reality. So hopefully that provides some clarity for you as to what the Second Amendment actually means, so you can have a better understanding of the importance and why it exists in the first place. And I want to know from you guys in the comments, do you guys support the Second Amendment? Do you maybe support some areas of it and not others? Or do you think that we just need to relook this whole thing entirely? Let me know in the comments. I'm interested to hear your thoughts and let's talk about it. But that's going to be it for this video, guys. Hopefully you guys learned something and enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, as it really helps me out. And in the meantime, you guys be safe, be smart, be blessed, and I'll see y'all in the next one.